Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make 3 cards using one stamp set, actually 2 stamp sets, but one as a focal point for three different ways. I pre-prepped everything, but some of the products I'm going to use today is it's the Kind Floral from Brutus Monroe. I'm using the big floral stamp, and I have stamped it out 3 ways. I stamped it out on just a plain red piece of cardstock that I found in my stash that I've cut down to just a little bit lower than a A2 size, and I used the pigment ink from Brutus Monroe, the Alabaster. I then used my aqua pigment papers from Brutus Monroe, which I absolutely love, and I stamped out the image with Raven detail black ink, and I covered it with heat embossed or clear heat embossed powder because I'm going to do some aqua pigment painting smooshing with this one. And then finally, on the same aqua pigment paper, I stamped it out with the embossing ink from Brutus Monroe, and then I covered it with the gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. And I'm going to do some color bursts with this in a variety of colors. For my sentiments, I am going to use the Simple Strips Friendship from Tailored Expressions and the matching die that I've already pre-stamped and cut out on their Simple Strips sugar cube and Oreo and a piece of watercolor paper. These are designed specifically to work with that stamp set, and I've already got my sentiments ready to go. So first we're going to do some fun color bursts. If you've never seen color bursts before, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, make sure I'm centered, and we're just going to play and see how it turns out. I decided to Google to see what colors look best with gold, and it's a dark blue, dark purple, blue, red. So I've got a variety of color bursts from Ken Oliver, and they're just very fun. You can just sprinkle them on, and then the fun part is letting that was violet, and now I'm going to use Prussian blue, and I have a peony, and I'm just going to let it go crazy. I'm not going to do any colors on my own. I'm just going to let it all mix on its own. So once you sprinkle, you just need a little bit. You just spray it with water, and you let the magic happen. You can use more water like this, which I absolutely love. You can dab up things. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the wisteria, and I'm just going to put it in some other spots. You can put the water down ahead of time and then spritz it, but I'm just going to let it go, and we're going to just let it sit, and I'm going to move these out of the way quick. You have to excuse me for just a moment here. I think that's kind of exactly what I want. I don't want to do anything else with it. I'm not going to twist it, nothing. So I'm going to quick wipe up my area. I'm just using a matte. I don't even remember where it came from, mostly because my camera is right above it and my light will completely and utterly blind you. So I usually use my glass media mat. Excuse the noise. I'm going to do some heat setting quick with my heat tool, just to speed up the drying process. And I'm going to pause while I do that so that you don't have to sit and watch. I changed my mind. I'm not sure exactly how. I'm still new to videoing. If you don't necessarily like the dark colors, you can dab it away. Which will help a little bit with the drying process. Flip it over to make sure it's dry on the other side. This paper holds a lot of water. All right. Okay. And last dry on this side. Flatten it out. And I'm going to leave it. And look at that. I'm going to cut this down with a frame just to make it a little bit smaller for my card base. And I will do that in a minute. I'm going to quickly make the other card and then we will put them all together. So for this one, I am not a watercolorist. I'm trying, but I'm not. So what I decided to do was just to do some ink smushing because I absolutely love ink smushing. So I have in my aqua pigments, I have magenta, turquoise, and I'm going to use the lavender, which is kind of a metallic, and I'm just shaking it up. Sorry if I made you a little seasick. Just make sure everything is good. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my paper, and I'm going to squish it in. And then a lot of times I'll use that up extra, but today I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to put on some turquoise, which is a very, very bright color. I can water it down if I wanted to mute it up a little bit, which I might do. Today I'm just playing. A lot of times I just take an extra sheet of cardstock when I have ink so I don't waste it all and just squish it like this and see what happens and make just this background with it. I'll put that aside, and I think I'm going to put a little bit of water on this, and I'm going to dab up just a little bit of the not quite so blue, and we're going to get some pink in here, and we're probably going to have to add a little more purple. This is magenta, I guess I should say. Like I said, I love ink smushing. I love how the colors mix. I probably could have just got away with the pink and the magenta and the turquoise, but I just love ink smushing and how it turns out because you get those beautiful colors. I'm going to put that to the side for a second and use that same piece of scrap cardstock just to pick up more of that paint. I do that all the time, mostly because I don't like to waste it. I don't mind getting inky. My fingers are always inky. Part of the reason why I don't have a manicure, because I would just ruin it. And then I'm just going to leave that and let that dry. Use that for another time. We're going to quick clean this up. I'm going to get my heat tool out again. Dab up just a little bit here on these edges so it doesn't leave too much of a harsh line. I like to wait till I have it heat set mostly so that I don't suck up too much. Alright. Drag it back up, straighten it out a little bit more. And there we go. Alright. So let me quickly grab my die cut machine. I'm not sure if this will all be on screen, but you can see my very well loved plates. I'm going to quick put my couple of things in. I'm going to do the gold first, let the black one dry so I don't squish the embossing powder. And the aqua pigment papers come in a piece that is set for a standard size A2 card front, the 4.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5. but I want to cut it down just a little bit, just to cover up the unfinished edges. So I'm just going to use a little purple tape, hold it in place, run this through real quick. Excuse my hand. And hold it in place. All right. And we're going to quick do the other one too. Take the purple tape off so it doesn't stick. Real careful there. Awesome. And then pull out the frame. We do the same thing with this one. Throw an extra piece of paper. I reuse my purple tape all the time. I usually just stick it to the side of my desk or onto my machine and reuse it. All right, I'm gonna pull it off quick. Let's get this out of the way. I also pre-cut all of my sentiments and got them running through because I figured there's some videos out there. If you wanted to see them, you can comment. I can link you to those if you would like to see how to use the sentiment strips. Otherwise, just go to the Tailored Expressions website or Facebook page and she'll show them. Same thing with why I did all the stamping and heat embossing. People have seen that before. So, all right, so there I go. I've got my 3 fronts. And this one I'm just going to do a little basic, leaving it as is. I just thought it was fun. I had a small little error right there, and I'm going to cover that up. Something was stuck to my stamp that I didn't see. So I just have A2 card bases here. And I'm going to get out my tape runner. Since this is just a very thin cardstock, I'm just going to quick put that in and make sure it's nice and centered here. Just making very basic card for this one. And I decided to use the Happy Mail just for you. Once in a while, I learned this tip, not sure who from, I think maybe Lydia Fielder from Understand Blue, that if you have a little bit of little hairs on the side of your stamp, to use a nail file or your die cut, use a nail file just to buff that off the edge and it takes them off real quick. So, and then I'm just going to put it down basic with just a little bit of, and I'll grab my T-square. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. That's a little confession. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go at an angle here for a minute. Make sure it's nice, and my desk is getting messy. Nice and straight here because I want to put this right about where I had that little error. Just going to put it down here in the bottom. Make sure it's nice and straight. And I think I might add a little bit of bling to the card. So I'm going to grab the Brutus Monroe Decorative Details in the flat back pearl assortment. Love these. And a jewel picker here. And I'm going to grab I'm just going to use red. And I'm going to put them in the center of a couple of these flowers. I probably should use the black. Maybe I'll use the black. Let's check the black out. The black probably will look better. Push this one off to the side. Put one in the center of this one. A little bit of a... And looks like we got 2 more down here that can have one too. Oops. Oops. Sorry about that. Wasn't paying attention. Grab the wrong colors. Put that one here. I like to put them in place first. Just sometimes it's a little easier for me if I put them in place before I put the glue down. And then get these out of the way. Oops. Just grab my liquid adhesive. Push them off just a little bit to the side. Now that I saw what they look like, I'm going to add just a little dab of glue to the center of each of these. Hope I'm not off camera. I apologize if I am. Pick it back up. The glue will dry clear, but what I like to do once I have them all in place, especially if I notice I've had a little bit of glue outside, is I just grab my little towel here and I just very carefully press around it. I squish that one off the way a little bit just to kind of cover up, take away that little bit of glue. And there you go. There's card number 1. Very simple, very basic, but I like it. Oh, there's a sparkle on there left over from my glitter on my towel. All right, so card number 2. We are going to put this one on a white card base as well. Let's see, which way do we like it? I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to use just a little bit of, excuse me, I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue, just because I think I can get it on there a little straight, or I just am trying to use up some glue. I was out of the glue I really like, the liquid glue I really like, so I just had to go buy some other craft glue, using it up. So put this down. Let's see, it was this way. Gonna center that on here real quick. Oops, I moved it. And help it set and dry while I'm waiting. And I'll put the other one on. I'll put this down. Let it sit here. And then for this one, I'm going to put this on a cream card base. Excuse my noise there. My glue got stuck in my glue holder. I use these glue holders from Make It from Marco. It's an Etsy shop. I have a couple of them, and they keep my glue upside down and ready to go. So I have another A2 card front, and I'm going to have this one sitting up this way. I'm going to do this one the long way too. Just put this on. I'll switch the block over here. This one's pretty dry. And then the sentiment I chose for this one was sending smiles across the miles. I had another sentiment here too. I wonder what I did with it. Did it get stuck to something? I know I had a black one. This is not the one I was going to use. Well, I'm not sure where the other one went, but this is the one we're going to use now. Just a little bit of liquid glue just to make sure it sticks down on this. If I ever get too much, sorry if I'm off camera here a little bit, I just kind of spread it out a little more. I'll wipe my glue off. I'm going to leave that open for now. Let's get my T ruler. Grab my little, I think I'm just going to set it down right about here. Push it up against the T ruler so it makes sure it gets nice, it's nice and flat there. I'll put my block on it, let that dry. I'll probably just put something heavy on top, make sure they dry over. All right, so now, like I said, I misplaced the sentiment I wanted to use with this one. So I'm going to look for another one. That's the nice thing about these sentiment strips. It cuts out so much. So I'm going to use, let's see, sending a smile across the mile, happy mail just for you. I love these. They're just wonderful. Friends like you make life better. That sounds... Actually, no, I'm going to do I Miss Your Face. I like to send the I Miss Your Face ones to my daughter. She lives on the other side of the country from me, and I don't see her very often. She lives down in Florida, and she does not get home very often. So I'm going to see here. I'm going to put that down over there, I think, a little bit. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do, is send this one to my daughter. I sent her a card last month, or in April, and it never got to her. So I hope I had used the right address, but I was very disappointed she never got it. So I'm going to just set this one down in this corner. Got a little extra glue seepage, so I just dab it up. And every once in a while, you get glue on your finger and it gets on your... And I just use my little glue eraser. Or my detailer. And took a little bit of the gold off. I'm going to have to fix that. I have a glitter pen, so I will fix that. Took a little bit too much, so there's a hint for you if you ever have some embossing powder where you don't want. And it says I Miss Your Face, which would work too. So actually I could just add some more dots to this and it would be fine. Let me see if I have a color. I have a pink one here, so we'll just do some pink. Quick pink, see what it looks like. Got a little mistake? Fix it. Oops. Sometimes the little pearls don't like to go down right the first time. I like to see what they look like before I put the glue on them. Come on, little thing. They don't always cooperate with me. Static cling and all that. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. I might just leave one right there. I'm just going to put down one. Ooh, odd numbers, right? Oops, sent it flying across. Put a little glue dot there. A little dot of liquid glue. Pick it up. Never even realized it said I. Just says Miss Your Face. So I fixed it there. All right. So let me recap and show you all three of my cards. I'm going to put a little glue on that corner. It looks like I didn't quite get enough glue. Three more cards. 3 cards. Let's see if I can get them all in one shot here. Which one's your favorite? Here we go. Have a great day and thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe if you would like to see more from me, and thumbs up if you liked my video. Thank you.